Well, hello everybody, and I'm here back talking about mental health and well-being. I hope that you're all keeping well and looking after yourselves really well during what must be some busy times for many, many of you. So I hope you're doing that. Today's short webinar is on nutrition and the link between nutrition and well-being. Now, I'm not a nutritional expert by any means, but I'm going to share with you some of the things that I do to look after my mental health, especially during busy times and stressful times, to support my well-being with nutrition. And the link between nutrition and well-being is really important because the better we look after ourselves from the food we eat and the things we do, it means that we have more energy to do the things we want to do. It means that we have a clearer mind, so our cognitive thinking is better and clearer, and we sleep better. So those three things, especially when you're going through exam time or revision time or with lots of homework and lots on, are really important. More energy, because we need the energy to do. The more clearer our thinking, so the more we can take in, the better our revision, the better we think and take in information, and the better we sleep. And the sleep is important to start all that again. So I'm going to share a few things with you. They're not rocket science, but hopefully they might be things to remind you that something you could tweak or do differently. The first thing, I'm sure you've heard me talk about this before, but I will say it again because it is really important, is hydration, drinking plenty of water. We're coming into the summer months, so the temperature's getting warmer. I'm sitting in this room today and it's quite warm, so I'm sweating. So drinking plenty of water during the course of the day is really important. It makes our mind clearer. It avoids us getting dehydrated. And if we get dehydrated, we lose concentration. We become more sleepy. We become more irritable. We don't function properly. So keeping hydrated is important. And what I would encourage you to do is there's only down a pint of water, a couple of pints of water, just have a glass of water, sip it through the course of the day, nice little sips, and replenish. So a lot of people have water bottles, that's brilliant. Squash bottle, sort of, maybe a litre, whatever. Try and keep a track of how much you've drank. One of the things that I do a lot of, excuse me, one of the things that I do a lot of is the first thing I do in the morning when I wake up is drink a glass of water. Not a huge one, just maybe this size. Because overnight I wake up and I'm dehydrated. I'm sure you all feel the same. Sometimes, you're hot, you're sweating, been sleeping all night. And one of the first things that my body needs is to rehydrate. Yeah. So I drink a glass of water straight away before I have anything else. And that kicks me off, kicks my body into hydration mode, and that makes me feel a lot better. Sometimes I wake with a headache or feeling a bit sluggish. That's why I'm dehydrated. So water is really important. Linked to that is if you're going through exam time, revision time especially, try and limit how much tea and coffee you drink, because tea and coffee, although they give us an instant hit sometimes and give us that spike, very often we crash really quickly. Coffee and tea are diuretics, so it makes us go to the toilet more, so we lose water, so we become more dehydrated. And also the caffeine is a momentary hit of energy. And what we want to do, and what we want to achieve, is in the course of the day that our energy levels are quite flat. We avoid big spikes and falls in energy. Okay. So I'm not saying don't have tea or coffee, but maybe a good trick to do is to have a glass of water with a coffee or tea. So if you're going to make a coffee, a glass of water with it, so you're balancing it out a little bit. That's a really good trick to do. And a lot of people who live in France, people in France, Spain, Italy, they will always have a glass of water with their coffee just to balance it out. So keeping hydrated, a really important key during revision and exam time in summer months. Okay. If you can take a bottle of water into your exams with you, do it, because again, it keeps those levels of hydration. You don't want to be you don't want to be dehydrated. Okay. Morning of the exam, make sure you have a glass of water, keep hydrated. And then think about the tea and coffee. how much you drink, okay, and making sure that you balance that out. The next thing around nutrition and well-being is very often we are quite bad at times, and I can be as well, of going long periods without food. Yeah, and the body needs food. The body needs energy on a regular basis. Okay, it doesn't like going long periods without food. So you might skip breakfast and have nothing till lunchtime or afternoon time, or you might have breakfast and have nothing till tea time or whatever. If you're revising, if you need energy, if you're doing lots of work or this, whatever you're doing, even in work or home or whatever, try and eat regular meals, maybe smaller meals, but try and eat regularly. And by doing that, you balance the sugar levels out so you don't have these huge spikes. So, I'm sure we've all done it, haven't we? We've skipped meals and then we're absolutely starving. And I think, oh, I can't get enough food. I'm eating all this. And very often you reach for the worst stuff because your body's craving sugar. Your body's craving stuff and you eat and then you feel terrible afterwards. Okay. So try and eat a regular basis. Have some breakfast, then have a little snack. Have lunch, have a little snack. Yeah. My little boy goes to nursery and they have regular meals. They'll have breakfast, they'll have a morning snack, they'll have lunch, they'll have an afternoon snack, tea snack to keep to keep their energy levels up. It's the same for us. So especially when you're revising, okay, and try and think about keeping those energy. Try and keep maybe a diary or a bit of a track about what you've eaten in the day, and link that to how you feel. Because if you eat a big meal, your energy levels will spike, but very quickly they'll drop, and you'll need a little sleep, or you'll be really tired, or you'll be grumpy, or have no energy. Yeah, we want to try and keep that level energy throughout the course of the day, so you can revise as you want to, um, and make sure that you're not sort of up and down too much. So regular meals, smaller portions maybe, but regular. And then in that regularity of eating is what you eat. Yeah. Now, I'm not going to preach to you about fruit and vegetables and all that. We know we should be eating between 5 and 7 pieces of fruit and vegetables every day. It's really good for us. We should be cutting down on our sugar intake because it's an artificial feeling of spike and it's addictive as well. You know all that, yeah? But one of the things I do want to mention is maybe think about something called the Mediterranean diet. And you can do some research on this yourselves, and it's something that I try and follow, yeah? So I suffer with anxiety and stress, and the Mediterranean diet really helps me because if you think of Mediterranean food, if you Google Mediterranean food, you'll see pictures, and it's always very colourful. Lots of fruit, lots of vegetables, um, lots of fish, oily fish particularly, but lots of fish, protein, yeah. Um, Sometimes less carbs, very often, and unless you're in Italy, of course, but less carbs. So it keeps you very full for longer, but also there's loads of vitamins, minerals, nutritionally great. So when you're going through a really busy, tough time, your body needs more vitamins. Your body needs those vitamins and minerals to function because it helps you to, again, have concentration, helps you to sleep well, you know, um, and helps everything work better, right? So the Mediterranean diet is an interesting one. The other thing it does as well is that it's been linked in research to help with depression and anxiety because, well, firstly, it looks colourful. A lot of our food is quite beige, yeah, but this looks colourful. It looks happy food, and that makes you feel happy, right? It also, for me, helps me, like I mentioned before, regulate my blood sugar levels. Um, Very often, my anxiety is triggered sometimes by if I don't eat enough or eat regularly enough, or I get tired. So it really helps with that. Um, and also what I find is that if I eat really big meals, then I'm feeling sluggish. I have no energy. I have no desire. So eating regular smaller meals of fruit, vegetables, good stuff, it really does help. And you need that when you're revising for exams. You need to feel good when you're revising. If you feel happy, feel good, don't feel bloated, don't feel too full, you're going to have more energy to do that. And try and avoid things like too many sugary sweets, chocolates, because that's the first thing we go for, is that we want something really nice. Try and replace them with things like fruit. Yeah. Try and avoid having those high energy sugary drinks, because although they might raise your blood sugar levels, you will crash. Yeah. Okay. And they become addictive as well. Replace them with other stuff. Yeah. Not saying don't have any, but maybe just be conscious. Maybe just be conscious, okay, of what you eat and what you drink. So a few things there to think about, isn't there? Yeah. Keeping hydrated. The minimum, the amount of water we should drink in a day is about 2 liters, but don't worry too much about that. Just keep hydration, keep drinking the water, keep hydrated. Think about the size of meals and regularity of meals to keep your sugar levels low. Okay. Think now, when do you last eat? When do you last have something? Okay. And if you think of the body as an engine, the more you revise, the more stuff you do, you're using that energy. Think of it as like a battery of a phone, right? The more you play on the phone, the more apps you've got open, the energy drops, and you've got to plug it in to recharge. So the way we recharge very often is by eating something, is by having more energy. And then think about what we eat. Yeah, think about and what effect some of the foods have on us. And it's an interesting concept, isn't it? It might be nice to eat a really big cream cake and donut, but how do you really feel afterwards? And how do you feel an hour after that? Um, Very often, if I have McDonald's, and I do, very often an hour later, an hour and a half later, I'm really hungry again, because actually there was nothing really substantially in it to keep me full. Yeah, so I'm eating something else. So just think about the impact food has on how we feel physically and mentally, how it makes you feel. And then think about the Mediterranean diet, a really good opportunity maybe to try something different. And Google it, have a look at some pictures, have a look at some ideas. Great opportunity maybe to do some different cooking or whatever, do an exam time to try different things out. So hopefully there's some stuff there to think about and maybe to tweak and try differently. Um, you're going to need some of that, yeah, because it's an important part of, and it's a busy time for you. I cannot stress how important how we feel is, and how what makes us feel. Plenty of sleep, plenty of good food, water, all that type of stuff really helps us to perform better, whether that's exams, whether that's sport, whether that's whatever you want to do, in work, whatever. It's really important. So hopefully there's something there to think about. I wish you well. Keep well. If you want to know any more, please get in touch. And if I can help in any way, then please do give me a shout. But I wish you keep yourselves well. Good luck with everything, and we shall speak very, very soon. Diolch yn fawr. Thank you.